Thank you. Thank you. Very good morning for all of you. Good afternoon, yes. It's good for beginning. Having in mind that I think it's obviously Serbia is the superstar of today's symposium. So maybe I suggested the wrong title. Maybe it will be better: Building of Sustainable Peace Tourism, Serbia Next Chapter, Balkan Next Chapter. I tried to make the joke, but I think that I'm maybe very near to the truth. And I should try to explain what I'm thinking when I'm trying to say that in the future, I hope, and I'm certain that all of us hope, that we could very good make a mix of peace and tourism for Balkan region. Balkan, we often, not only we, often call Balkan powder of keg. So it can make an eruption very suddenly. I hope that we just finish with this type of events, let's say. For the beginning, very briefly, about peace in tourism. As on the beginning, you maybe noticed that I'm president of Institute for Peace Through Tourism. Institute for Peace Tourism is a chapter of International Institute for Peace Tourism. Headquarters in the United States, and I'm almost 30 years collaborating with them in different positions, and I think this collaboration was one of prerequisites for us to establish this institute in Serbia. But of course, peace in tourism, there are different approaches and different meanings of this relationship between peace and tourism. So we can say that peace is not as simply, it cannot easily be packaged as a product the way tourism can. And I've cite here Freya Higgins-Desbolet, and her work in a few other sentences. It's very important for us to make a difference between so-called positive and negative peace of, easily to say, absence of war and all other forms of wide-scale violent human conflict, and positive peace, harmony, justice, equality. And we can only try to negative peace as prerequisite to achieve through tourism this positive peace. I'm certain that we all agree that contribution of tourism is really enormous, related to better understanding between people all around the world, different cultures, religions, nations, and so on. So, the overall position and the overall tourism results are very important in general for tourism development. United Nations in Sustainable Development Goals, one of these goals is to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels. But United Nations World Tourism Organization, as one of the UN agencies, this goal is not in particular focus of UNWTO in agenda of SDG agenda of this organization. Of course, there are a lot of critics related to this relationship between peace and tourism. often this peace tourism is characterized as a work, as a wishful, anecdotal, naive, or driven by limited case study analysis, confusion and correlative and causal relationships. We obviously know that this relationship between peace tourism is not easy to reach, but we can try to, through small steps, give our positive results to achieving peace through tourism. Education is one of very important parts of this process to educate those who are in tourism businesses, local tourism organizations, and so on, and in general, people who are traveling, tourists, about what peace in general means to tourism and how we can, through tourism, achieve better understanding and prerequisites for peace. International Institute for Peace for Tourism is established in 1986. The same year was in the UN International Year of Peace, and the main goal of IIPT is dissemination and facilitation initiatives within tourism that contribute to international understanding, cooperation, improve the quality of the environment, protect cultural heritage, and reduce poverty. That means that they have a positive effect to sustainability in general. And vision of IIPT is based, very basis of that is that tourism, as one of the global largest industry, will become world first global peace industry and industry that promotes and supports the belief that every traveler is potentially a peace ambassador. And there is IIPT credo of peaceful travelers. So there are a lot initiatives and activities of IIPT in 36 years of existing, not only through conferences, global summits, and so on, through different projects, and by establishment of IIPT chapters in countries following propositions, or certain propositions, prerequisites. For Balkan region, peace as tourism, I think we all agree is very important as a good approach to make a better understanding of people who, part of them lived in one country, ex-Yugoslavia, or our neighboring countries, to make, through tourism, this better understanding, which is very often, I think that this year is also can be used as an example. Maybe there are quarrels and misunderstanding between the governments, but for the people, tourism is a very good way to find a job. A lot of Serbs, and not only Serbs, are working in Croatia, or as a tourist go around and as a tourist visiting countries in the Balkan regions. One good example is so-called Open Balkan initiatives, and for the citizens of Serbia, Albania, and North Macedonia, they do not need visas to go and visit these countries. So, for Balkan regions, we first have to do our best to enable and to encourage the movement of people without obstacles. We do have some of them, and to make a good proposition for step-by-step policy. For IIPT, is very important this kind of approach, step-by-step policy, and I have chapter of IIPT existing now only in Serbia, but we hope that in all other Balkan countries will be established. It was establishing a chapter in Montenegro was announced, but I think that now is stopped because there are some obligations of a lady who is supposed to be the initiator of this. IIPT Serbia approach, and I'm try to be to follow the time. IIPT Serbia, it was established last year in April. Main group of IIPT Serbia activities, as you can see, small, but we think important. Establishing of IIPT Global Peace Parks in Serbia. In September, we will pronounced 5 of these global peace parks in cities and towns in Serbia. We will try, together with IIPT, to organize a regional conference on peace and tourism. There will be IIPT Serbia Student Essay Peace Prize 2022, and we will try to, in these 5 towns, to organize education on peace of tourism, not only for tourism business, tourism offices, NGOs, but for everyone who is interested to participate. We have non-financial support of very good support of National Tourism Organization Serbia, and we will think that starting this our activities much frequently on the regular basis that we'll have another contributor, and we will try to establish international relations, and our support and collaboration with the Sultans Trail as an important organization, I think, will be mutually effective. Thank you.
For sharing, thank you very much, Prof. Popesku, for sharing with us information about the IIPT, the vision of IIPT on tourism and on peace. You were realistic, but at the same time you did end with the hope that a lot will be over and that tourism can play a role to make what's over sustainable. And thank you for sharing your views with us and also your wish to relate even more strongly with the Sultans Trail.